Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel and to another episode of Rogue Revealed, the series where I take you through everything you need to know about Rogue Company. In today's video I wanted to go over one of the most useful, if not the best piece of utility there is within the game, a smoke grenade. If you do go on to enjoy this video or learn something new, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, but for now, let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, let's figure out actually who has a smoke grenade within this game. There are 3 rogues that are currently equipped with them. This is Ronin, Lancer, and Saint. What the smoke grenade itself actually does is you throw out this projectile grenade. When it lands, it detonates, creating a cloud of smoke that obscures enemy visions and your own vision, so you can't see through it. It's just a thick wall of smoke, similar to how other games work. As you upgrade the smoke grenade, what you do is that the first upgrade will increase the smoke duration and reduce enemy movement when they're moving through the smoke. It does not reduce your movement. And then when you get the second upgrade, the tier 2 upgrade, it will increase the gadget count by 1, so you can actually hold 2 smoke grenades every round. Now there's 3 main uses I want to go over with the smoke grenade so you can use it to the best of its ability, as I think this is a really underrated piece of equipment, particularly in just normal casual play. You tend to think of sort of smoke grenades as being something really competitive. In loads of other games, you see smoke grenades being used all the time to absolutely dominate the enemy. Well, Rogue Company, even if you play casual, does have this kind of tactical element to it, and smoke grenades are a massive part of that, even if you're trying to solo frag and strikeout, demo, or extraction. I'm going to show you these 3 different ways of using the smoke grenade now, so you're better equipped to go in, pick them up, and use them effectively within your games. The first use is going to be the most common, and that is to block off a line of sight in some way. Now there's lots of different peeking angles within this game, lots of long lines of sight, and if you're an SMG rogue like Lancer, throwing out a smoke grenade so that you don't have to deal with a Phantom trying to snipe at you or a Dallas with a DMR is really, really useful. So throwing these smoke grenades just to block off where you think the enemy is going to be looking at you from long angles is generally best. It's also fantastic at blocking off a line of sight on your flank, so that enemies who are maybe trying to get around and get a cheeky position on your flank can't see through the smoke to where your current position is as well. Another way of using it to block off a line of sight is actually if you know the enemy are about to rush a certain site or rush a certain avenue through a site, throw a smoke grenade down. They're going to be far, far less likely to run through it if there's a smoke grenade there, and it stops them, slows them down, and offers your team a chance to come and help. I do this a lot actually. I throw the smoke grenade down, stop the enemy advancement, call out to my team that they're here and they're trying to come through, and by the time the smoke clears, we're all set up in position, they peek out and get absolutely lasered. The reason I say this is the most common use is because this is what people think smoke is most likely used for, right? You block off this line of sight, it's this whole thing, it's there to obscure vision. You can use it to block off these long angles, block off your flank, or whatever you choose to do it to stop the enemy seeing. You can actually also throw it directly on an enemy if you know that they're on some sort of third person and it really puts them off. They can't then hold that angle because they're not going to see you move through to a position. It's great for giving yourself a chance to reposition yourself without the enemy seeing. However, there are some other ways of using it, and going to the sort of the next most common one that people don't do a lot, but it's actually really good, is to use it to cover a revive. Now, as I said, Saint actually has a smoke grenade in his kit, and using this to cover a revive is really good, and something I don't actually see any Saints doing for the most part. Think about what Saint does, right? He throws out this drone to help revive your teammates. But the problem is, whenever that drone comes out, it's high priority for the enemy to try and shoot, try and thirst the kill, or just try and disrupt it in some way. Throwing a smoke grenade on the teammate that is downed to stop the enemy being able to see exactly where they're being rezzed is crucial. It completely denies their vision of trying to stop this res. Yes, they can push it, but then they're pushing into the smoke, and you can capitalize on their lack of vision and try and build off that. It also, again, just deters enemies from wanting to go and push into the smoke. It also works for manual revives as well. Whether you're the one who's going to try and revive, if you're saying play Lancer or Ronin, you can throw a smoke down, then revive your teammate. Or if you see your other teammate is trying to revive them, throw a smoke grenade on them just to give them that cover. It really does do wonders, and you'll get far more revives off, or your team at least will get far more revives off if you're using your smoke grenade effectively to help. You don't just directly have to throw the smoke grenade onto your teammate, you can throw it towards the enemies as long as you're blocking off the line of sight towards your teammates. Sometimes teammates may get a bit annoyed when they're trying to revive and a smoke grenade pops up on their head, so throwing it slightly in front of them just to obscure the vision is probably a good way to go also. Now I want to talk about my favourite use of the smoke grenade, and this requires a lot of confidence in 1, your gun ability, 2, your map awareness, and 3, your map knowledge, because it's to use it really aggressively and push through the smoke, really catching your enemies off guard. This is most common for me on Lancer for a few reasons. One, she moves fast through the smoke, so you're not actually in there. People won't expect it as quickly. They see the smoke, they stop paying attention to that angle because it's smoked off. If you come bursting through that with a Lancer at that top speed, it's going to be amazing. You're also immune to reveals, so you're definitely not getting seen through that smoke. And you're also quiet, so they're not going to hear you run through that smoke. So Lancer is the one I use this most on, although I'm not afraid to use it on Ronin as well. I think she's pretty good to try and use this play on as well. Saint is the only one I would say is not super effective unless you're doing it as a whole team push, because realistically you don't want to be putting yourself at a disadvantage or a difficult situation where you could die, a high risk situation on Saint, because his life is so valuable to the team. But going on to how I actually use this smoke grenade to push effectively, I would throw it down an angle either on top of an enemy or just in front of an enemy's line of sight that I know they're holding and they're trying to stop me through, and I will literally just sprint through it. Now the placement of this has to be key, right? You can't do it in a way that they can still get an angle on you. You can't get shot from the sides. You need to put this in an avenue or on some sort of angle that really does block off most of the enemy's vision, allows you to run straight through and appear out. And honestly, a lot of the time, and you'll see this so much from me in my gameplays, it will work out because they just do not expect it. A map I do this so much on is Windward, down that really long straight down the middle. If you haven't seen my map guide, go check that out from a few days ago. But you throw the smoke grenade down the long side of middle, anyone on top of that staircase on the defending side will die, because I'll throw the smoke grenade at the bottom of the staircase, I'll run through it, I'll come up the staircase, and I'll be right there. They don't expect me to be there. Using smoke grenades aggressively is a fantastic strategy, very hard to sort of understand, and you do need to kind of practice with it. But realistically, you should be practicing with smoke grenades. You should be practicing learning these angles, learning off different lines of sight to stop yourself getting shot in the back, to get yourself shot on the side, or just to sort of slow down the pace of the game a little bit and mean you're more in control. When you're in control of vision or third corner peaks, for example, you then have much more control over the game, and smoke grenades allow you to do this as well. It's also a fantastic counter to Phantom. I know a lot of people struggle with Phantom, and for me and my guys, we play against very, very good Phantoms, obviously. So we need to find a way to disrupt them, and smoke grenades do that amazingly. It gives us a chance to get close to them with the SMGs, or even with the ARs, given the range that Phantom can hit at, and just get on top of them, deal with them, and then we can deal with the rest of the team 4v3. It is a massive recommendation from me for you to start picking up smoke grenades when you are on Ronin, when you are on Saint, and when you are on Lancer. Buy them round one, just play around with them. If you're in a coordinated team, talk about where you want these smoke grenades. Talk about where you think they're going to be the most useful, and try and execute a strategy with them in mind. Imagine you're just going for your normal, really hard breach onto a site, and all you do is you throw a smoke grenade on one of the angles that can tend to be kind of annoying, that they can tend to see past and maybe get a few shots on you. You smoke that off, you get your hard breach so easily. So do give them a go. I think they're so underrated, and I think if you are able to use them effectively and master them, you're going to have a great time in this game, and your gameplay will improve massively. Okay then guys, that's going to take us to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see how I actually use smoke grenades in my gameplay, the best way to do that is come follow me on twitch.tv/Radthar Gaming. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and I do these strikeout gameplays, demolition gameplays, for you to see exactly how I execute these kind of guides and strategies. All the links you're going to need are down in the description below, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll see you in the next video.